This is NBK, nothing but Knicks. When Sim passed the assist, you know that it's #1 show that breaks down the game. If you can't play defense, stay out my way. Dribble the ball, come down the lane. 5 seconds on the shot clock, who gon' win us the game? You wanna hear Nick updates and trade rumors? Post-game reviews, this the place to tune in. Tell a friend just to keep the ball moving. Like the page if you feeling the movement. Every game we coming to win. Give us a sub like a player that came off the bench. This is NBK, nothing but Knicks.
Knicks family, what's poppin'? It's your boy. Ladies and gentlemen, we just watched the Knicks win a double overtime game versus the Boston Celtics. And we are back at Legends, ladies and gentlemen. Legends. And if you're checking us out and you're not here, make sure you get here and join us for the rest of the time that we're here. But we're going to break this game down, get a few people come up and talk, get your ideas, your thoughts, your feelings about tonight's game. It was stressful. It was stressful. I can tell you that. My voice is gone. The dudes in front of me didn't want to sit down.
Right.
So that was a little bit more stressful than the game. I thought I was going to have to knock one of them out. I was getting mad. You know what I'm saying? But the Knicks pulled that. Yeah, every time I turn around, yo, sit down, man. The game is over. I mean, the shot is over, whatever they did. But anyway, it's a good game from the New York Knicks. Steph, just real quick, what do you think about it before we get into the box score? Then I'm going to swing it over here to Tony.
First, shout out to you, Sim, the panel, the chat. You know what? You just got to win. You just got to find a way to win. It wasn't pretty. There's definitely some things we need to work on, but the grit and the grind is there, and we was able to pull it out. We'll be better. We'll be better Friday when we play Orlando. Yeah. I think that's a big key right there. Just being able to pull out wins. Pull out games, despite if it's low scoring, if it's high scoring, whatever it is, finding ways to win the basketball game. They did that tonight. Tony, what do you think?
No, I concur. That's the story of the night. Find ways to win. Right. We did it in preseason, and here we are, first game of the season. We found a way to win. We pulled it out. RJ's defense. That's all I'm gonna say right now.
Yeah. We're gonna get into that real quick. In a second, but I want to run down the box score first. All right, Julius Randle led the team in scoring. He had 35 points, 9 assists, 8 rebounds, but he also had 7 turnovers. All right, he played a little antsy tonight. I thought a little bit antsy tonight, but we'll get into it a little bit deeper. He played 45 minutes, basically 46 minutes. Shot 44% from the field. He shot 37% from 3. And he was 8 for 8 from the free throw line, which was big. It was huge because I was afraid that he was going to miss a couple of those free throws down the stretch because he's done that. Maybe this is another step in his evolution. Followed by Julius Randle was Evan Fournier. He had 32 points, 6 rebounds, 3 assists, 4 steals. I thought he played some decent defense, and he hit some huge shots for us. Huge shots. He was 52% from the field. He shot 46% from the three-point line. Big game from Evan Fournier, I think. RJ Barrett came on in the second half. He had 19 points in the second half, RJ Barrett did. 19 points because he didn't score in the first half. He played some killer defense like Tony was talking about, but he didn't score in the first half. And when he did finally start scoring in the second half, the Knicks built the lead. I think RJ Barrett was really key to this game, and so was Obi. I know Chris is going to feel good about that one. So was Obi. He was key. But RJ had 19 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists. He shot 43% from 3, 54% from the field. Obi Toppin had 14 points and 5 rebounds. He was 6 for 9 from the field. Kemba Walker had 10 points and 8 rebounds. The Knicks had 6 players in double digits, and Derrick Rose had 9. For the most part, it was an all-around game. Scoring for the New York Knicks. It ended up being an all-around game, although in the beginning it looked like Julius Randle was, really trying to take over the game a little bit in the first half. The Knicks, they shot 45 threes tonight. They shot 38% from 3. They were 48.6% from the field. They were 51 of 105 from the field. So 45 of their shots, 45 of 105 shots were threes. They grabbed 55 rebounds. They had 27 assists. They had 10 blocks on the night. 10 blocks on the night. And give it up for Mitch, man. Mitch came in. He played big. He played big ball. Give it up for Mitch. Mitch had 11 points, 17 rebounds. 17 rebounds. I'll say that again. 2 blocks. And he had 3 assists tonight. You know what I'm saying? So, a lot of contributions all over the board for the Knicks tonight, ladies and gentlemen. But it's one area that I do want to get into, and I don't want to rain on a parade of, the Knicks getting the win. But I wasn't happy with the way that they played the game down the stretch. I felt like down the stretch of the game, I would say 5-6 possessions in a row, they came down and gave it to Julius Randle on the block in the same spot, in the same area. A couple times he converted, a couple times he didn't convert. You know what I mean? I wanted to see a variation in the offense down the stretch. I did think that, a little bit later, Tom Thibodeau called some timeouts and you see some variations. Evan Fournier started to get loose. He had a layup to the basket out of a timeout. That was good. But Steph, just what do you think about the way that we played and the way that we executed down the stretch and going to Randall? I want to talk about that specifically.
Yeah, I didn't like it. I think, listen, in the first half, he had it going. We needed him to do that, and he did it. All good players, all great players, there's a point in the game where they take it over. But after you miss a shot or 2 or 3 shots, now you got to just get back to your regular offense. And I think that's something Randall has to get better at. Knowing when to isolate, go for himself, possession after possession, and then knowing when that's over. And now we need to go back to moving the ball around. And hopefully he'll get better at that. I don't know if it was because what you're saying, Tibbs called a timeout and told them to do that. Maybe he was tired. But once he started moving the ball, getting in some pick and rolls with Fournier, passing Fournier was just on fire. And both of those overtimes from 3. And that really kept us in the game and helped win us the game. So, yeah, I agree with you. I didn't like it. There's a time for it. There's a time to move on from it, and he has to get better at that.
Yeah. Do you think it was it him or was it Tibb? Kemba Walker has the ball in his hands, and he can go away from him. He can say, no, we're going to try something else. Obviously, he's new to the team.
Right.
He may be a little skeptical on doing that right now, feeling like, maybe that's not my role.
That's a part of it, too. But they just kept going to it. Enough already. It's nothing is happening over there. Why do you keep going back over there?
Well, I think one of the main reasons they did go to him is he had a little man on him. I kept screaming, mouse in the house, mouse in the house. Now, granted, he miscued on a couple of those last possessions, but I think Tibbs is big on taking advantage of your advantage. You know what I mean? And that's what they tried to do. He just wasn't successful in a couple of those plays down the stretch. But like you said, we needed him to do that in the first half. I think it could have got ugly in the first half if Randall didn't take over when he did in the first half.
Yeah. That's true. I thought in the first half, even though there were a few times when he kind of maybe forced it a few times. The Knicks were down 11. He came in his second quarter. And helped the Knicks to cut the lead, right? And he was a key. He was key to that. But I think that's the next evolution of his game, just understanding and picking and choosing his times when he needs to score, when he needs to make sure the ball is moving. There was a time in his second quarter when I was like, you know what, RJ hasn't scored. Randall being the leader out there, find a way to get RJ the ball in a position so he can get an easy shot. Try to get RJ off. Try to get him going. Obviously, RJ did in the second half. But I'd like to see Julius Randle take some initiative in doing that,
Right.
A lot to learn for Julius Randle, and maybe he was just a little hyped up. But I will say this, and Steph, you brought it up. I heard you talk about it at the game. His handle looks a lot tighter.
Absolutely.
It's a lot tighter. He looks faster as well.
Right.
There were a couple of times when he caught the ball and just took a couple of quick dribbles, pop,
yeah,
and then made a move to the basket. I'm like, oh, wait a minute. He got faster.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And if he can learn how to control that and get the ball and quickly strike, you know, he can be tough to stop.
Right.
Very tough to stop. You know what I mean?
And he played closer to the basket this year too. Remember last year it was threes or a little bit of the mid range.
Yeah.
He was going down in the post. He was mixing it up. His game is definitely better, you know. But it's the decision making at this point.
The decision making, yeah,
Right.
yeah, definitely. Now, do you think, knowing that Boston was small, which allowed the Knicks to play, you know, some small ball, do you think it was the strategy of Tibbs, Tony, to go to Randall because they're small and isolate with Randall? Do you think that was part of the strategy of the game?
I believe so. I believe so. I mean, Tibbs is always talking about taking advantage of mismatches, and he had that mismatch. So I wasn't really mad at it. I was mad at the result at times, but he had the advantage, and that's what we're gonna have to do: look for advantages and take advantage of them.
Right. Even if sometimes the game looks ugly, we might have to do that. But hey, I say though, big shout out to him still. Some parts of the game I didn't like, but big shout out to Randall still, because he hit some of those free throws down the stretch, and I was a little nervous because last year he missed some of those free throws.
Right.
He would miss some of those free throws. Tony, you brought up RJ's defense. I know you want to talk about RJ's defense and the job he did on Jason Tatum. Hand it over to you.
First off, let me salute you, because what you just say about you were saying Randall needs to try to get RJ the ball in that first half, and we agreed. Reward him for his defense. His defense, like, he really locked down on Tatum. I think Tatum was stuck on 14 for the longest. Even though RJ hadn't scored in the first half, he was focused on his task, and I think if he continues down this path, this is what we need from him. I said it before the season even started. We're going to need somebody to take the place of Bullock and the role that Bullock played for us last year. And it seems like it's going to be RJ. That's what I wanted. And this was a great test. And I'm going to give him an A+ on this test. Start the season on Tatum, lock him down. Now he could go forward the rest of the season and say, I know I could be this guy.
Right. And while he was, in the midst of not really getting the ball, not really getting touches, he didn't pout, he didn't drop his head. He could just continue to play.
Stay focused
on defense and do the best that he can on Jason Tatum. Jason Tatum in the first half had 9 points, 2 assists. He had 2 rebounds as well. He was 3 for 10 from the field. He was 0 for 6 from the 3-point line. Now, he did end up with 20 points. He tried to force some things down the stretch of the game, played a little bit of hero ball down the stretch of the game. He ended up with 20 points, 11 rebounds, 4 assists, shot 23% from the field, shot 13% from 3. Great job by RJ, man. Really good job. Steph?
Well, that's what I said,
Yeah. Give it up for him.
Right.
Give it up for RJ.
Definitely. I mean, that's what we talked about in the pregame. You're not going to stop Tatum. He still had 20 points and 11 rebounds, but is it an efficient game or inefficient game? And it was an inefficient game. And that's what you do to the elite players. You just make it tough for them. If you get 20 points on 20, 30 shots, you did your job, and that's what RJ was able to do. I wish Tibbs would have switched him over to Brown for a little bit, because he was killing us.
Brown was killing us.
He definitely was.
He was killing us. And I'm glad that Randall, started to score a little bit and even the score up, because B Smooth, and I know B Smooth, he's a Boston Celtics fan. He's not listening right now, but he said Brown was better than Randall, and it was by a landslide. So I was glad that Randall started to get his off a little bit, and the Knicks came away with the win, because Brown's not going to drop, what do you have, 46 points tonight? Right. He's not dropping 46 points every night. Jaylen Brown had 46 points, 9 rebounds, and 6 assists. He had 1 block. He had 3 steals. He was 53% from the field. He was 57% from the 3-point line. He was killing in the first half.
20 in the first quarter.
20 in the first quarter. Yeah, 20 in the first quarter. They didn't have a lot of answers for Jaylen Brown. The Celtics, though, you got to give it up to them. They played good basketball. Obviously, could pull it out in the end. They had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 people in double figures.
And Steph, I know you said you wish that we switched RJ onto Brown. I'm glad we didn't, because at that point he was doing such a great job on Tatum. Even if he switched on Brown and slowed Brown down, I didn't want Tatum to get off. You know, once Tatum hit that was it a 3-pointer? I think once he hit that bucket, no, it was a dunk. He got that drive and that dunk. Once he hit that dunk, you know, he started to go off a little bit. So taking RJ off of him, I didn't want him to go off, and then now we got to really worry about both of them. You know, if one guy's killing us, I think we could live with that, no matter what who the team is. You know, but we gotta lock down the main guy, and I think we did that tonight.
Yeah. Steph, I don't remember. Did you say anything about? Did you want to say anything about RJ's defense?
No, I did. You know, I thought he was good. You know, I thought he was good. This is going to be the challenge for him every night. He understands that. I don't even think he really worried about scoring. Well, let me take that back, because there was one time he was on the break where he could have passed it to, I think it was Obi for the dunk, and I guess he was like, "Look, I ain't score a lot of points.
Right?
let me take
mine.
this." But for the most part, I don't think he was worried about it. And listen, I think that's going to be the case. It's a lot to play on the wing and then score 19, 20, 22 points. That's a lot. So, I mean, his offense, you know, may dip a little bit this season, but as long as he plays good defense, you know, I think the real basketball purists who understand the game will know that he's not regressing.
Right, definitely. I do want to send a shout out to Jimmy Buckets. Thank you for the super chat. He said, shout out to Leon Rose for overpaying Fournier. And Fournier had a good game tonight. Well, I mean, we just read it out. He had 32 points. He played within himself. He didn't try to force anything. Really, really nice pass to Obi that one time. I don't remember. Obi, we didn't convert that play. I don't remember, but I think it was a really good pass to Obi. You know, Fournier showed the reason why the Knicks wanted to sign him. And I'm one of the people who believes that Fournier can have a breakout season this year. I really do. You know, I did a video, you know, asking, can he be an all-star? And everybody was like, man, this dude can't be no all-star, I don't know, man. I think Fournier could be ready to have a breakout season. I really do. You know what I mean? I can't hear what he just said. What he say? Two of us. Okay, right. Good.
But three.
Oh, three of us.
Remember, in the beginning, I said I wouldn't be surprised if Fournier was our second leading scorer.
Yeah.
That we're definitely sleeping on him. He's a very good player, all-around player, similar to the mode of Gordon Hayward, where you're going to get your points, you're going to get some rebounds, you're going to get some assists. He knows how to play make, and he's a tough guy, you know. So I'm not surprised by this performance at all, and I think he needs to be more aggressive.
You know what surprised me? His finishing at the rim, and he did that a lot tonight. He got to the rim, all the way to the rim, and finished. And you know, kudos to him. We're gonna need that.
Yeah. He plays a real patient game. He doesn't try to force anything. You know, he just plays within what he's able to do. You know, then make shots when it's time to make shots. You know, timely shots that we need. So, you know, and that's what you see from Fournier tonight is everything that Bullock could not do last year. Right. Everything that Bullock could not do. As far as, you know, making the timely shots, putting the ball on the floor and going to the basket, making a couple passes here and there, you know, to keep the defense honest. Reggie Bullock couldn't do any of that. All he could do was knock down a three or maybe take a little step in, pull up. Evan Fournier showed it all tonight. You know what I mean? And the reason why the Knicks paid for him. You know, the dude said they overpaid for him. I don't even know if they overpaid for him, for real, in my opinion. I'm not sure if they really overpaid. 17 million or something like that. I don't know if he overpaid for him.
They gave him the Randall deal.
Yeah.
You know,
right. And when it's all said and done, it may end up being a cheap deal. You know what I mean? There's players we see right now that don't have his experience or stats in the league that just got $100 million contract or more. You know what I mean? So I think we did good with Evan Fournier. Really good with Evan Fournier. Before I pass on and let somebody else jump in for me, I did want to talk about I wanted to talk about the small ball lineup. Right, we got a chance. And as a matter of fact, I think that small ball lineup was one of the keys to help us turn that game around. Right, I think we were actually down.
Yeah, we were.
When we went with Obi and Randall, and then that small ball lineup, I think it was faster. It gave the Knicks more scoring options on the floor, and Obi started to show what he can do on the break. Played confident. I think that small ball lineup looked really, really good tonight. Steph, what do you think? And then, I don't know, Ron, you want to come on up? I'll let you come on up. I'm passing to you, Steph. Tell me what you think about the small ball lineup, and I'm going to switch out with Ron.
I liked it. Again, I don't know if it was from necessity because Taj was out today. Noel was out today. But we needed it. Even if those guys was there has to be times when we go to the small ball. Obi's defense is good enough that we can do that. And we were just a quicker team. We were a faster team. We had the mismatches. Randall took advantage of it, and he was hitting his shots at that time. So I was okay, with him going possession for possession. And I hope it's something that we continue to use. Obi was so poised when he was in the game. Even on the break, there was one pass. He caught the pass. Mitch came down the lane. He passed it to Mitch. I think Mitch missed, but he got, he was fouled. But that shows awareness that he's just not out there trying to score. He's reading the game, So things are slowing down for him. I like what I see.
Yeah, definitely. I just wanted to jump in and kind of echo the sentiments about Fournier. Because I wanted to say that a lot of people have been down on Fournier from this preseason. He had one great game in the first not great, but one really good, solid game in the first preseason game. And then he had a couple stinkers with bad passes, bad decision-making. And the Knicks fans started to jump out the window saying, what do we do here? Why do we get Evan Fournier? Well, tonight you saw why we got Evan Fournier. Evan Fournier is a solid NBA basketball player. He's one of those worker type guys that knows how to make the right move and the right play at the right time. It doesn't always happen because people make mistakes. And let's take a quick look at Evan Fournier. Last year with the Celtics, he only played a certain number of games. It wasn't even 20 games. And once he got to the last 7 games, he started to light it up. He had great games against certain teams, even Miami, with a great defensive team. He had 30-8, 20-8. He had another game. He had 20-something points. Evan Fournier is a solid basketball player, and I think as Knicks fans, we have to be patient and see what this guy can do because he might be the key to us winning a lot of basketball games.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
Small ball lineup is here to stay, Steph.
I'm okay.
It's part of the rotation now. Tibbs seen it. He likes it. Obi stepped up. Obi's ready to, show what he could do offensively. I think he's shown how good he could be defensively. The only part of his game that I think he rushed tonight was his 3-point shooting. He missed a couple, maybe 3-4 open threes. I think he rushed those shots a little bit. But other than that, man, he's looking like he's ready to go. He's ready to show who he is. Before I let Eru come up here, or excuse me, Evergreen come up here, shout out to the chat, Yo Black at Time. I just want to point out that first game of the season, we obviously we're not clicking on all cylinders yet. When we start to put everything together, this is going to be a scary team. I say 20 games or so. After 20 games, I think everybody's going to be acclimated. And watch out. New York, we here.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Facts. Steph, what do you think about how Obi has taken the reins of his all-around game? He's not just, yes, he's still trying to attempt threes and get the shot off, but his inside game is way better. He's much more controlled.
Yeah. I think the game is slowing down for him. On offense, he's taking what the offense is giving him, and he's multifaceted. So in the break, he can definitely dunk. Remember the dunk? He dunked on somebody that was just nasty. He can do that. He can hit the 3. he's in the post. But I like that pass to Mitch. That pass to Mitch, showed me that this guy is seeing the game. He's feeling the game. He's in the flow of the game, and he's not just trying to score. He could see a play developing, right? So I like what I see from Obi, and what the small ball lineup allows us to do is for Obi to get more minutes. Because if he's playing behind Randall, let's face it, Randall's getting 36, 38 minutes a game. If you're not going to small ball, how many minutes he's getting? Like 12 minutes a game. So going to small ball allows, Obi to get more time on the floor, and that helps us as a team.
Yeah, no, I agree. Evergreen.
I'll add that the small ball lineup was only available there because Nerlens Noel, is not that anchor on the defensive end in the five because he wasn't there. So, it really gave Obi Toppin the opportunity to really, show what he's got. I've echoed the sentiment before that I think Obi Toppin is probably the most important player on this team simply because of what he needs to bring in order to bring Julius Randle to a point where he can be a lot more efficient. Once Obi Toppin really breaks out of his shell and really shows some consistency coming off the bench for Julius Randle, and Tom Thibodeau starts to trust him a lot more, maybe you might not necessarily see Julius Randle's minutes go down, but at least you get a longer type of break, for Julius Randle to rest, and then hopefully games like tonight, where Julius Randle, obviously it's a double overtime game, so he was going to be out there for a little bit. But in normal games that end, in your 48 minutes or whatever, maybe you have an opportunity to leave Julius Randle in the beginning of the game on the floor a lot longer. And then going towards the end, maybe third quarter, you can kind of let Obi Toppin rock out because Obi Toppin Tom Thibodeau starting to trust him. So that's what I really want. And Obi Toppin showed exactly what I wanted from him. My only gripe with him as at this point is the guy does not jump all the way as high as he should when he shoots threes. But I don't even have that expectation and even wanting him to shoot threes at this point in time. Like, let that boy drive, let that boy get on the break. Let Derrick Rose be the guy that's gonna push him to get on the break. Hell, there's a few times where he led the break his own in his own right. So that's what I really want to see from him. And I think we got something special here. Big shout out to State. I'm gonna call him out, because he was screaming in my ear about what are we doing with the small ball lineup as soon as it came on. And then as soon as Julius started to cook a little bit, he's like, yeah, small ball lineup. So, it's good to see that Tom Thibodeau is starting to do something a little bit different, as far as the lineups are concerned. And maybe he's starting to trust the other coaches on the staff a little bit more. And I love what I saw tonight, man. I love what I saw tonight, except so much on the defensive end. But, we really had an amazing show tonight.
So I wanted to ask you a quick question about Mitch, Evergreen. But before I do that, I just want to shout out. We got a super chat from Neville Humphreys. Thank you for the super chat. In the first half, Coach Tibbs almost made a fatal mistake by going with Jericho Sims before Obi. He said he was shouting at his TV. Why? Yeah, listen, that it could have been a fatal mistake because Jericho is still learning the NBA game. Yes, he got a big body. He, pause. He's out there and he's jumping through the roof and doing all these things on the box out. But the game is still too fast for him. He still doesn't know exactly where to be. It doesn't matter how many times you could be in practice and Thibodeau tells you be here, be there. It's a natural instinct thing that comes with time. So I agree that it might have been a mistake to go with Jericho rather than Obi. And we see in the end, Obi's minutes were invaluable. And that's part of the reason why they were able to secure the victory.
I think in the beginning of the game, if Jericho Sims makes that lob dunk, if he makes that lob dunk, that changes Tom Thibodeau's reaction to everything else that happens in the game. Because we all were on our feet like, oh my God, like is this is first play of the game, he gets in, and I'm sure Tom Thibodeau has his ways of expressing his emotion about something. But I think Jericho Sims makes that dunk, and we have a different conversation about lineup.
Yeah.
Right away. Mitchell Robinson comes off the bench. Mitchell Robinson goes to the bench, and Jericho Sims' first play that he gets made like that. That was incredible. That the fact that the ball was even lobbed his way that early. You know what I mean? So it let us know, like I said, that Tom Thibodeau is doing something a bit different. Obviously, the ball didn't go in, but it shows us that maybe Jericho Sims can offer us a lot more than what Mitchell Robinson can.
Whoa.
Tough take. Tough take. Tough take.
Yeah.
Tough
Maybe,
take.
maybe a few years from now.
Maybe a few years. Tough take. Listen, but y'all know I stand on what I say, and not for nothing. All game I was making all kind of crazy predictions, and they was happening like this. So anybody else want to come up and say something?
Throw him off the balcony.
The prophet, he said, throw me off the balcony. The prophet is about to leave. You heard?
Yeah.
The prophet was saying all kinds of stuff, and everything was coming true.
Wait.
You know?
But before you go, since you already brought up that whole is Thibodeau trying to do certain things for Jericho that maybe Mitch can't do or what have you, that lob play to Jericho is a simple play that definitely can be called for Mitch. I think it definitely is in the mix.
That's a fair point, but was Mitch getting that 10 seconds into his check-in? All right.
Okay, maybe not. What's going on, State? How you doing, bro?
I'm good, man.
You all right? Your voice good?
Yeah, I'm good.
All right. What you think about Mitch's game tonight? After what we've seen from him from the last preseason game, trying to get himself into shape, going out there getting 17 rebounds.
You know what's crazy? It's different when you're at the game. It's kind of different than when you're watching the game from your crib. So Mitch was great tonight. Have a blessed night, brother. So Mitch was great tonight. 17 rebounds. I didn't expect for him to get that. I thought he was still hurt. It was nice to see Mitch. It was nice to see Grimes for 6 seconds. But
what was that about?
But I take it. The one thing, the only gripe I have tonight is with Tibbs is the Julius Randle thing in the early fourth. Just like what Sim said, we gave it to Randle at least 4 or 5 straight possessions on the block, and we ran the same play over and over. So I would like for Tibbs to put in different variations. He finally did after he called the timeout. And then he had Evan Fournier at the top of the key running in the pick and roll with Julius Randle.
Right.
But overall, I loved what I seen. I appreciate Sim. I appreciate you, OG, for having me, for bringing me here. My voice is done. Tony Crow, appreciate y'all, man. I appreciate all of y'all, man. This is my first time meeting all of y'all. Whoever's in the chat, I appreciate y'all as well. That's all I got, man. It was a great game, man. I was a little worried, but we pulled it out. The only thing, pause, by the way, but my last thing is, I'm gonna need Kemba Walker to play a little better. Kemba Walker was terrible tonight. He was disgusting tonight, but he's not Alfred Payton bad. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So a Kemba bad game is not different from an Alfred Payton bad game.
Right.
So we don't. I wasn't really too worried about it, but he definitely got to play better for me. Derrick Rose, I don't know. He was out of it tonight too. I didn't like his play tonight, but veteran. He kept us in the game. The star of the night was Obi for me. I'm so proud of Obi. I did over 20 plus pods with Eru, my guy diehard Knicks, and we always bomb on Obi. So I appreciate Obi for coming out tonight and giving us a prime Boris Diaw game. That's what I'm gonna start calling him. Obi Boris Diaw topping, man.
That works, man. That works.
It works for me. It should work for him. But I'm happy, man. I'm good. I got 54 wins. I appreciate everybody who's seen me tonight. I know y'all seen the hoodie, man. My guy Pat, John Starks. Oh, RJ Barrett, RJ aka RJ Ron Artest Barrett. You mean? All right. So the last thing, right? RJ Barrett is untradeable. I already said this. But you see the guy's defense, right? When you got a guy like that who's 21 and who defends like that, you can't trade that, right? Because you don't have to push him to play defense. You don't have to push him for effort. The only thing, though, he got the dribble of a 4-year-old kid. but he's gonna get it. He's gonna get it together. Because I don't remember Kawhi Leonard having this same type of handle that he has now. I don't remember him having it when he was a sophomore.
Yeah,
so he's gonna get better. But I loved what I seen from RJ, especially when I remember a time before I get out of here. The first half, I looked towards Apollo and I said, "Yo, Apollo, RJ got 0 points, bro." But the man is playing like Andre Iguodala. He's playing some hella defense right now. Tatum was 7 for 30. Tatum was 7 for 30. I got nothing else. So
Give it up for State.
I appreciate all of y'all, man. Appreciate Sam. Appreciate you, OG, Eru, by God. I appreciate you, man. I appreciate all of y'all, man. I love y'all, man. Like my own family members, man. I'm gonna do this every time with y'all pause. And I'm out of here, man. Go Knicks. Knicks tape. Julius Randle, first team All-NBA. RJ Barrett, second team All-NBA defense. And I think we can have 3 All-Stars. The Evan Fournier thing, I'm gonna sleep on that. I think I like that take. I think I'm gonna sleep on it though. But I'm out of here, man. I appreciate all of y'all, man. Appreciate y'all, man.
Take it
Chat,
easy, State.
thumbs up, send them super chats in. Nothing but Knicks, man. MBK fan, man. I'm out.
We got Die Hard in the building. We got Julito in the building. And introducing Quiet Money.
Hero. What's good, my brother? You had one of the best seats in the house, man.
Come on, man. That's regular.
I love y'all like my own.
You already know, State.
Like my uncle.
Oh man.
We going to chop it up.
I want to talk about something that changed the whole game, Eru. It changed the whole game. There was a moment when it was OT number 2. Julius, it was like maybe the first play of the game of the OT. Julius Randle saw that Obi could not guard nobody. He walked over to Tibbs. He whispered in his ear. Tibbs didn't even want to take Obi out. But he heard Julius Randle say some shit. He took Obi out. He put Mitchell Robinson in that game. That changed the game for us, man.
Yeah.
I want to say shout out to Julius Randle and Tibbs for trusting each other, because that's a trust thing. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. If we don't got trust, if we don't got a team that trusts each other, that understands when it makes sense, we don't have to win tonight. And I think for the last 7-8 years, we haven't had a team that trusts each other. You imagine when we had Hornacek, we had Derek Fisher, we had all of these coaches that didn't trust the players enough because the players didn't trust them. So it's a hand-in-hand thing. When now that we got a coach that trusts his players, a player that trusts a coach, man,
it's a beautiful thing.
I said 82-0, man. I said it. 82-0.
We on our way.
82-0.
We got Julito Diamonds over here.
Come on, man.
Predict the future. That's a beautiful thing about you being so close to the game.
Yeah.
Because you can see stuff like that.
Yeah.
From way up where we was wondering why Obi wasn't in the game.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It was like, why would we take him out? But then for you to get that insight, that just tells you right there.
And I want to shout Obi out, my brother. I want to shout Obi out because he did well for us in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
He did well for us in the first overtime. It's just he wasn't what we need. And that's the thing about NBA basketball. Sometimes you just may not be what we need in that moment.
Right.
He wasn't what we needed in that moment. You understand what I'm saying? Because we needed to switch over, we needed a different kind of personality in the game. Right. We needed a Mitchell Robinson. We needed a wide defender. We needed Evan Fournier. We needed, you know what I'm saying? We just needed certain things at a certain time. When you such a connected group and you understand that shit, it changed the game for us, man. I love this team. This team is amazing, man.
Yeah.
It's well put together, man. Very well put together.
Yeah, in the beginning when we first came here for the first show, I was saying that it's like levels to the way the Knicks play. You know what I'm saying? Like we have to set the table with a certain lineup. You know, we have Mitchell Robinson starting with the different guys, whatever. But as the game went on, as we needed like points, as we needed rebounds, as we needed defense, they made little changes to the lineup. And next thing you know, they started. You know, we're versatile to the point where we can adapt to any situation.
100%.
So, and this is just game one. So I'm thinking like same thing like some of the guys were saying, like 20 games down into the thing. I can't see anybody beating us, man.
Let me explain something to you too. It was a moment when Kemba Walker got off Kemba played maybe our first two our fourth quarter and our overtime. And then there was a point where Tip said, okay, I got to switch it. I'm going to put Derrick Rose in for that second overtime. Back in the day, or even 2 seasons ago, Alfred Payton would get out the game. He would walk all the way to the very far end of the bench or even behind the bench.
Right.
Or any other player would walk all the way behind the bench. Kemba got out the game and literally sat in chair right next to the coach and rooted his team on. Do you know what that means to a player that you sub in for? It shows them that you care for them just as much as they care for you. We in this together. I'm not working right now. Kemba said, I can't defend these guys. I can't defend Marcus Smart. I can't help when it comes to Jaylen Brown. So let's put D Rose in the game. Do you know the level of what that brings to a team? A lot of players don't have that. Somebody will get out the game, they'll be like, dang, I knew I could have did that. I could have been the one. Nah, Kemba said, let's do it. Kemba was clapping, standing up right on his side. He was showing love right on his side while D Rose was in the game. That level of listen, man, this team is constructed to be one of those teams. I'm not going to say it's our year. I'm not going to say that because I'm out the window, but I'm not jumping off the roof. Tony, I'm 82-0.
82-0?
That's the Casamigos. That's the Casamigos. Now, when I'm on my right mind, we are constructed to be a really, really good team because everybody's fighting for each other. If you even look at the Celtics, man, Grant Williams didn't want to get out that game. He hit 4 3-pointers in a row. You think when they took him out, he wanted to get out the game? He was tight. I'm watching the benches, bro. I'm watching, what's his name, Udoko? I'm watching him take him out the game, and he's sitting on the side pouting. I'm watching it. You took him out the game when Obi sat out the game, when Julius went to the Tibbs and said, it's time, he got to get out. And Mitch came in the game, Obi was still standing up. Let's get it. We a squad. That changes the game, man. I'm sorry if I'm talking too long. That just matters. Things like that matter, and I think that's why we're gonna be a good team.
Yeah, with that, yeah, definitely.
Okay. What's good, MBK? What's good, MBK family, man? Now listen, I want to first and foremost, I want to shout out my man Sim for having me here, for having this platform for everybody to get together. This meet and greet is dope.
It's special, man.
And it's dope. I really appreciate it. Like, I never met none of you dudes in real life. I never met nobody in real life. But like, I'm quiet. Oh, my bad. I'm quiet money.
Hush money.
Shh. Everybody know. I think they know who I be.
They know. They saying it in the chat.
I'm quiet money, man. But like I was saying, this meet and greet thing with everybody, the energy is what attracted me to MBK in the first place. Like, it's a real dope thing we got going on here, man. That Nick thing is crazy. It's nothing like it. Brooklyn ain't doing this. They ain't doing it like this.
No team doing it like this.
Ain't no Brooklyn NBK, ain't no Brooklyn chat, ain't none of that going on. I live in Brooklyn.
Me
ain't
too.
Nothing going on. But yo, like tonight though, man, it was cardiac Knicks. It was cardiac Knicks. But you know, I'm not mad at nobody, because everybody got to get the feel of everybody. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like Obi is still learning. I can't I can't be getting on Obi because he's still learning the game, bro. Even though he did a lot of years in college, he wasn't on the professional level. Dudes are moving at a different speed. They got more strength. They got more. They refine. You know what I mean? So that type of competition.
Quiet Money, if you don't mind, since we on MBK, I gotta apologize, man. Obi Toppin, I apologize, man. I went in on you last season.
With the Bambi legs.
I bodied Eru. Even on your show, I think I did.
Yeah, we
On
was
Doc,
getting
I bodied Obi Toppin. Obi,
Hold on.
excellent game.
How about he's playing behind Julius
Excellent
Randle,
game.
bro?
Excellent.
Yo, he took over the
Excellent
Julius
game.
Randle.
When I tell you,
Julius
listen,
Randle can play the whole game,
listen.
and Obi got to play behind.
Obi Toppin looked excellent out there. He looked smart. He looked like he knew what he was doing. He on both ends.
Yeah.
We knew what Obi Toppin could do on the offensive end, but on the defensive end, I saw that man get a block. I saw that man guard Grant Williams. There was a moment when at the end of the fourth quarter, and they had Julius and Obi out there. I said, "Oh damn, oh damn." I was nervous, him. Excellent job, Obi. I apologize. Listen, I get stuck in the moment sometimes. Last year, he annoyed me. He was just not good.
It was well deserved though, man. He was terrible.
But still, I bodied him. I was ready to get him out of town.
Yo, he had a play today where he had that scoop layup.
Oh my God, everything. The scoop layup, the tomahawk, the fast breaks. He's running faster than everybody. He's 6'9", 6'10", running faster than everybody on the court. Every fast break. We haven't had a player. See, that was the issue too. When we go on the fast break, not everybody ran. Not everybody went to the Baja. We get players that go to the perimeter. They go to the corner. They go to the side. Obi's running straight to that basket. Throw it in the air. I apologize, Obi. I apologize.
So let me ask y'all, based on what we did tonight, what's your outlook for the season now? Based on what you've seen tonight, what's the outlook for the season?
82-0. We're not losing a game. We're playing the Orlando Magics twice. Then we're playing Detroit. We're not losing a game, Sim.
Yeah, I think we're gonna be 10-0 at least.
And I'm not going to be on this show, nor am I calling up when we lose. I'm not doing bung games. If we lose, we lose. Keep me out of it. We are winning every game.
Yo, we like one of the only teams in the East that don't have no problems going on with the team. We have the worst thing that we
and
had.
They killed me for that, Eru.
Yeah.
They killed me on Twitter for that.
Yeah.
I really wrote. I said, "Yo, we're gonna win every." I said, "We're the only team in the league that don't have drama." Oh, you acting like Utah don't exist. Utah's trash. We don't have a trash problem. Yeah, they're amazing. They got Donovan Mitchell. They got Gobert, but we know they ain't going nowhere. We know Utah's not doing anything. We got a team that got hope.
Yo, if Utah make it to the finals and we make it to the finals, I think
we're beating them.
We're beating them.
We're beating Utah in the finals.
Easy.
We're not losing to Utah in the finals.
No way.
Donovan Mitchell. Let's not act like Donovan Mitchell and Rudy Gobert didn't like each other last season. Let's not act like that didn't happen. People really came at me, Sim. They was like, "Yo, Utah, you forgot about Utah." They didn't like each other last season. Donovan Mitchell is a New Yorker. He don't want to be in Utah. That's an issue.
Let's not pretend that RJ ain't gonna lock his ass up.
Come on. That's an issue. Josh said, "Julito off the Casamigos." I'm gonna shut up.
How you guys doing? My name is Kevin King. I've been with you guys from the beginning. Huge fan, man, and a bigger Knicks fan. Shout out to the chat. Shout out to the panel.
It's a good friend of mine also, like
yes,
in real life.
Yes,
in
sir,
real
yes.
life.
My brothers out here, man. First of all, I want to say, realistically, I think the Knicks are going to probably be around 48 to 50 wins. The optimist Knicks fan, the insane Knicks fan want me to be. I'm 82-0. You know, straight from the gut, man. I love what I see with the team. I think one of the major things with this game, we got exposed when it comes to our point guard defense. I think sometime maybe halfway through the season, we're going to see McBride come in and play a little bit more games and stuff like that, because watching Kimba out there, I seen the offense and he started getting lazy or maybe just tired at the end of the game. But the same, Derrick Rose had to come out there and you know, take control of the game. And that's one thing that I really like with having two veteran point guards that could switch it up. RJ, there's something about him, man. For me, I'm happy we didn't get Zion. Ain't gonna do with Zion, he's not. But there's something solid about RJ, that he's a quiet killer, and he just shows up with nothing but energy, and just he gets the job done. I love watching Mitch. I love what I've seen out there, especially what we've seen in less than 5 days, from the growth where he was tired and he couldn't play to the game where he's out here getting 17 rebounds. He's getting boards, and he's also showing a little bit more moves in the post, especially when he had the mismatch. He was calling for it. He was like, yo, give me the ball. Granted, they looking at Sims and giving Sims the ball, but Mitch, for some reason, they don't really give him the ball. And he exposed it efficiently too. Julius, I really wish sometimes when those shots aren't making for you, he goes back to the team ball and relies on his team. Sometimes he plays a little too much of give me the ball, and keeps on checking up shots. But I was really happy to see him in the fourth, closing out some of those moments. Evan Fournier, I said it when we were inside this room earlier. Evan Fournier has he was going to be the X factor for us. There's something about him where he's almost like a ghost, but is a silent killer. The guy dropped 32 points, and can anybody remember those points? You know what I mean? Aside from the clutch buckets.
He didn't do well until the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
For real.
But did he get the ball before that?
Oh no.
You know what I mean? But when he gets the ball, he does what he does.
Yeah, no. He was like 1 foot 8 prior to that.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for the 2 overtimes, he would have had a bad game. But
he had some timely buckets.
He's the clutch guy.
He was getting to the basket.
And I'll say this: he plays a better two-man game than Reggie Bullock, and there's nothing to doubt Reggie Bullock, because I love what he provides.
Way better.
But the fact that you could give him the ball and he has so much more than just a pull-up jumper,
way better,
or a spot jumper. He could take the side step. He could take a pull-up dribble. He could drive to the paint and score efficiently. The guy is something special.
He was playing good defense too.
Come on, man.
Yeah, there was a couple points of the game where 100%. He covered like 4 or 5 different positions.
Pritchard didn't do anything tonight. If you think about it, Pritchard didn't score tonight.
Yeah. He didn't.
And Pritchard is a Nick killer on the low.
Yeah.
He's a Nick killer on the low.
Yeah.
Fournier was a big piece of that. Okay. There we go.
Oh man, I appreciate this, man.
Where you want me to go?
Trust me, this is family, man. Gonna get in the mix. Oh no, swing which way?
I think you want you to see. You want me to move, Sam? You want me to move right here?
Yeah, you can come right there. I jump there. We about to.
My fault, bro.
Someone be glad this right
My
here.
brother, you out of here?
Mic over there.
See you in a minute, bro. Oh, sit there. No. Come on, man. Come on.
We got another mic right there. Someone can just jump back there.
That's you right there, bro.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we coming down to the last leg of the show, man. I just want to appreciate everybody for being out here. You know what I'm saying? And doing what we're doing. We're gonna finish this off. We got guard up Knicks here, and I want to find out from you guys based on what we saw tonight. Just what's your thoughts on the Knicks? What's your thoughts on the season based on what we saw tonight?
Yeah, Apollo.
It was a game where it was a lot of ups and downs, but I'm gonna be honest, I'm still positive regardless. I was sitting next to Evergreen at the game, and I was saying to him the whole time, I'm like, listen, even though we down, like we're not really playing well, and they're barely beating us. Right. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of chemistry issues that we got to work out. That was what I was worried about coming into the game was Evan Fournier and Kemba Walker, and Kemba got it going a little bit, but more Evan. You know what I'm saying? And Evan really did his thing, and I think that's really crucial. If the guy you brought in to hit those shots, to give that space to Julius Randle, RJ Barrett, and to spread out the court and make that offense work a little bit better. If he's hitting those shots, and everything works for you. You know what I mean? And I thought we saw that towards the end of the game. He started hitting those shots a little bit more, and then that's when we went on our run. You know what I mean? Yeah.
I think that it looked like it was nerves. Like we said before the game, Kemba looked like he had a lot more nerves than I anticipated he'd have. It looked like Fournier was more ready in terms of the X team and showing off for the team and everything. But it looks like it was the first game. At the end of the day, it was the first game. You can't really get too carried away one way or the other. But it looks like the Knicks have some things they got to work out. It was the first real game. It wasn't against the Wizards. So I'm encouraged that we came out with the W on this one, on the first one.
Yeah.
It's almost like not like the Knicks. Historically, looking at the last 10, 12 years, and we getting that W to start off. So that's a good way to start. It was good to see. Kemba early was knocking down his shots. Fournier looked good. RJ Barrett looked like it looks like he's stepping it up. It looked like incremental steps. He's doing, like you said earlier, with the cross, bop. He's quicker with the dribble and everything. If he could put the ball on the floor. Mitchell looks good.
Yeah.
Because I was wondering if he was going to be tired. Mitchell looked good. Julius was Julius, right? He go in there, he'll score, he'll win the game for you. But then he going to have those blunders. How many turnovers you said
7.
he had?
I think he had 7 turnovers tonight.
He always got to get, that's Julius.
Right. Like, exactly. I was going to say that's Julius.
That's Julius. He's going to get you a double-double, but he might get you almost like a triple-double with the turnovers.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. Almost a quadruple-double tonight.
Yeah. Yo, and it's just like, so, you got Mitch doing what he's got to do. Obi look good, man. He's running the floor.
I love what Obi's doing.
So I just think we got a bright future when you see how these guys is running. For the first game, it don't look like the chemistry is quite there yet. It looked like they was trying to make it interesting at the end of the game. It's like, come on, dude. We were up like 10. We were up like 10, 12 at one point.
That late game pressure.
It just seemed like, but that's why I'm glad they came out with the W on that. Because before, we'd have got there, lost it, whatever the case. It took us a couple overtimes, but I take the W.
Yeah,
go ahead.
No doubt about it, man.
What I saw was there were
you on there?
Yeah. All right. What I saw was that there were a few kinks that needed to be worked out still. They, like you said, they didn't play well. Maybe it was first game jitters or whatever it was, but they did work. They did work through it. They got the W, but there's still a lot that needs to be worked out with lineups, with who's getting the ball, what's required. Yeah, it was kind of like why what you had out there was working. Why switch it up? And at the end of the game, where we just had to maintain possession, it seemed like we were just throwing it away. Right. So a lot of that needs to be worked out. And once we do, like my man just said, like we'll be a scary team. We'll be a scary team.
No doubt about it. A couple of super chats before I get out of here. Robert Noah D. Nick said, if RJ plays defense like this all year, it'll raise our season a lot. I agree. It definitely will, because he'll take place of what we lost with Reggie Bullock. Right. You know what I'm saying? But we'll still have the shooting with Evan Fournier. Yeah. And then Neville Humphreys said in the first half, Coach Tibbs almost made a fatal mistake by going with Jericho Sims before Obi.
Yeah.
I guess he had to give Jericho Sims at least a try, since that's kind of he's there. We didn't have Noel said we didn't have ties.
But that's what the preseason was for, and we saw what he did in the preseason. So I don't know why he still needed to try him. Like
I guess just to see what he learned. See what he learned. Put him out there, see if maybe.
I mean, he needs real games. He needs real game situations.
Right. It's true. But also, just based on the way the game was going, he might have just felt like this small, we can go with this small lineup. Right. In another game where a team is bigger, he might stick with Jericho. So,
yeah, he might have to. Right.
Yeah. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, we've got to head out.
Yeah.
It's late. 12:30. People got to work. All of that.
Right.
I
Knicks
appreciate
Nation.
all of you for being here with us this late. I think everybody that came out and joined us. Legends NYC. We thank you all for letting us be here, and we'll be doing more right from here at Legends. So just stay tuned because we'll put the schedule out when we're gonna be doing live podcasts. We want everybody to come through. With that being said, you guys just 10 seconds, say some last words, and we're gonna head about.
Yo, Paula Reed, Guard Up Knicks, everywhere, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube. Thank you, Sim, for everything, man. Let the opportunity.
Yeah, shout out to Sam.
Hell of a game, man. Hell of a game.
Knicks Nation.
MBK.
Salute. Nothing but Knicks.
Ladies and gentlemen, we out.
All right.
Red love, baby. Peace.
This is NBK, nothing but Knicks. When Sim passed the assist, you know that it's #1 show that breaks down the game. If you can't play defense, stay out my way. Dribble the ball, come down the lane. 5 seconds on the shot clock, who gon' win us the game? You wanna hear Nick updates and trade rumors? Post-game reviews, this the place you tune in. So tell a friend just to keep the ball moving. Like the page if you feeling the movement. Every game we coming to win. Give us a sub like a player that came off the bench. This is NBK, nothing but Knicks.